Now, let's talk about the numbers that are ever increasing and oh so shocking. No, I'm not talking about the COVID positive numbers, I'm talking about the price of petrol and diesel per litre. During this lockdown, things have changed so much, drastically and dramatically. Let me tell you what exactly the figures are. Prior lockdown, the price per litre of petrol was 69 rupees 60 paise and the price per litre of diesel was just 62 rupees 40 paise. Today, I'll tell you what, diesel is slightly more expensive than petrol at a shocking price of 80 rupees 40 paise. What does this mean? It means we need to change immediately, for the moment and from the moment. The big question here is, are electric cars the right option? The idea of electric cars is simply superb. The implementation, are we actually ready? The government support, I'll tell you what, the prices, the taxes and the duties have shot up by 20 to 40%. What is the future of these huge amount of investment into electric cars and the hope of all the buyers? Let's talk about this on a Chennai Live exclusive as we discuss the future of electric cars. Coming up right up, some shockers, some sparks and some vital information. That's right. This is Garage 101 on Chennai Live, and my name is Raji. But as of now, let's move on to our guest, the in-house auto expert. Well, look at him. Bright and green, very eco-friendly. That's the color that we're going to be vibing with. What is very, very big at the moment is what's coming into the auto market, which is a line of electric cars. We have the Tata Nexon, we have the Hyundai Kona, and we also have MG's brand new car. But besides all of that, some big car launch is expected later this year, which is the Volkswagen. We have Nissan with their own car, Mahindra coming in with their own car. Tell me firstly, what's it with the lineup of electric cars and India? What's the connection? Are we seeing something which has not hit the eye as yet?
No, I think it's a natural reflection of what's happening in the global market, and I think we're looking at manufacturers here locally also showing that they have the potential, they have the capability to be not more than just petrol or diesel cars. In this way, we have electric vehicles from Mahindra, for example, being a bigger deal because Mahindra has its own electric vehicle division, as you might know. They already have the e-Veritos and all that, but this is going to be brand new cars. As you're looking at the KUV 100 becoming electric, looking at the XUV 300 becoming electric, and so on. So same thing from Nissan. Hopefully, we'll have something electric coming in from Nissan soon. It's huge.
But Vignesh, is this a change of environment? Is this a change of the mindset? Is this a change of the market? What change is going on that suddenly we're seeing, this line of electric cars, or the change of the fuel prices that have been, not fluctuating, but just going higher and higher? So what is this change all about? Why this vibe in suddenly?
I think there is a need for the manufacturers to bring these vehicles on board. The fuel prices are helping in the sense. It's bonkers right now. It's going up every day, and for the first time, diesel is more expensive than a petrol, right? So definitely a mindset change, not there yet. Environment change, not there yet. Ecosystem change, no, not there yet. But some of the manufacturers, interest is suddenly spiking when it comes to electric.
Yeah, but of course, when it comes to this, there are a lot of pros that work for electric cars. One is the eco-friendly aspect. One is this concept of, 1 rupee per kilometer. That's another concept that's going on. And one part is the government's inputs. Now, we believe when you look at eco-friendly aspect, environment-friendly, care for the environment, there would be some great subsidies coming in from the government. But, Feb 20th, 2020, this year has been all about bad news. Feb 20th, another very important date, where the duties and taxes shot up by about 15-20% on electric cars, and on CBUs of electric cars, the completely built up units, up to 40% increase. Now, what was the logic behind that? And it's not helping, is it? How is it helping in terms of electric cars?
No, I think correct. There has been a sudden, I would say, hike in when it comes to imports, especially. But I think that's one way of trying to sort of trigger the supply situation here when it comes to.
Atmanirbhar India, Atmanirbhar
But
India motto.
this was pre Atmanirbhar. This was in Feb 2020. So anyway, so they saw it coming and we didn't.
Yeah.
But I like to think that. But honestly, from a government perspective, I think they are doing quite a bit when it comes to financially making it a little more viable, but indirectly, right? So there is, for example, on electric vehicles, there's only 5% GST. Right, whereas when it comes to a vehicle like say the Kona, for example, would typically have 45% GST based on the because of length and so on. So 28% GST and 17% cess equally totaling up to 45%, whereas it's 5% for say the electric vehicle. So in this case, we're looking at that reduction. Second, from a state government perspective, the state government's completely removing road tax charges, life tax charges for 15 years, right? So you're not going to have any road tax for say electric vehicles in Karnataka, for example. In Tamil Nadu here locally, we have a 50% rebate.
Yeah.
So if you're paying 15%, you're looking to pay 7.5, which I think is a fair step. It's not all the way. It's not in any extreme. So I think it's a doable step.
Now, so far we're talking from the manufacturer's point of view. Let's come on this side, which is a much more bigger side of things, which is the consumer side.
Yeah.
It's a lovely idea, Vignesh. I mean, for me as a consumer, I fall for this idea. I think it's absolutely brilliant to have something which is so unique, so innovative, futuristic, and a lot more, in terms of, running costs, it feels like a lot more lesser. The idea is brilliant, Vignesh, but in terms of implementation, is it right now? Is it too early? Or we've got a mile to go before we even reach the comfort and the confidence level?
We have a mile. We have quite a while. We have a lot of miles to go to reach the comfort level.
You're not pointing today. We have a mile, quite a mile.
It is the ideal scenario for having an electric vehicle ecosystem in India is quite far away, and it's going to take quite some time. Honestly, for India to start adapting to electric vehicles, there could be small segments of the audience who are looking at experimenting with the electric vehicles and so on. But for the larger segment, for the mass market, electric vehicles is still a strict no. Rather, no experimentation at all. Just stick to what is tested and proven, right? So most people would go in for a petrol or a diesel as of now.
But do you think the way places like the United States, UK, Netherlands, Sweden, these countries consume a lot of electric vehicles? So do you think India will eventually, say down the line, get there, or will electric vehicles always be second fiddle to the conventional engines?
I think all those countries have taken various steps to implement and not just giving a financial benefit. So there has been consistent, I would say, improvements when it comes to their infrastructure. Any question that the consumer has in mind about the whole concept of going electric has been answered by these governments, at least most of them. For example, right now here, we are looking at where do I charge? Or, and these are the questions that come to our mind. It's a global problem. It's not just India specific, but for a sensitive market like India, which is cost sensitive, value sensitive, product sensitive, brand sensitive, all at the same time, it's going to be quite difficult to get that right spot between all these things. Have you seen that pie chart that says Ikigai? That's basically the spot to hit, right? To make it more accessible, affordable, and
that's the sensitive side of things. Let's talk about the other sense side of it, which is sensible side of things. Let's talk about the sensible side of things. Now, tell me, for someone to gain confidence, you need these, cushions. For example, 8 years of a battery warranty, 3 years of, approximately 3,500 rupees your service charges. So all this sounds very, very nice and quite easy on the pocket. So is this something that is a cause for concern or a reason for comfort? Where would you see these huge add-ons coming, building trust, confidence, and the ability to give it a shot?
It is all about trusting the trust here. It's like inorganic and organic, right? This is an inorganic push to get some customers and acquire some customers to get the confidence, right? Because like I said, it has to start somewhere at some point for it to become fairly popular a few years down the line. So somehow manufacturers have to appeal to the first users, the first experimenters in this case, and sort of the only way to give them the confidence and the confidence about the technology is by giving the extremely unfairly long 8-year warranty, right? Which is giving you the sense that yes, it's the technology is great, and no manufacturer would give an 8-year warranty for technology. But there are practical difficulties, like for example, charging infrastructure. Then when it comes to ownership, about what do I do if I'm, I mean, we all get bored of our cars, right? And that's what makes the industry work. People buy, people sell, right? So what do I do if I'm owning an electric car right now and I want to sell it? Say I'm in the 5th year of ownership and I want to sell it. The resale value is nuts. It's no one would go in for it unless you find.
Give me an example. See, expensive and nuts and cheap and unfair, these are words that apply to people very differently. So let me take a 20 lakh rupee car, Vignesh. I think that would be a fair thing in today's market. Take a 20 lakh rupee car. 5 years down the line, if I'm trying to sell a petrol or diesel car, what would that fetch me, and what would a electric car fetch me? Can you give me some indication for us to understand?
Okay, so I'm just shooting in the dark here, because there really is no metric for someone to see. But honestly, for a 20 lakh, say a petrol, let's say a Kia Seltos, for example, if you're looking to sell it in the next 5 years, you're probably going to get 10 to 12 lakhs. I'm just based on the 12 car, and so on, right? And how much it has done. But I cannot promise the same thing. I cannot really talk about the same thing when it comes to electric vehicle, because again, in the used car market, it's about
give me a number. Give me a number. Give me a number. Vignesh,
there really is no idea, because one reason is that
are we talking 5 lakhs? Are we talking 10 lakhs? Where are we?
I think we're looking at 5 to 6 lakhs.
That was a shocker. That's a shock the electric car gave me. That's a shock.
I mean, I think the whole magic about this is that I might be completely wrong also, because there really is no data for anyone to see, right?
Would a buyback guarantee from one of these dealers or the manufacturers give a sense of confidence?
Yeah, could give a sense of confidence. Not denying it at all. But ultimately, this is again dependence on the manufacturer, right, or the dealership. I feel the best way to go about this and to sort of appeal to this person who's looking to experiment with their big ticket purchase in this case is by giving a lease idea instead of selling this car, right? Your conventional car, conventional mode of sales, perfect match. Unconventional car, conventional
mode of sales,
not really great. So, but if you're looking at a leased option that's extended to the consumers, they would definitely take it, because they're not in it for the long-term commitment. You can always say that if you can get a Nexon electric vehicle for say 15,000 rupees per month of lease, that is a great deal to go ahead with. I mean, you have the emotion of the ownership. You don't have the burden of ownership, and you don't have the burden of maintaining it. All you have to do is charge it.
Now, you sell a lot of cars, online cars, trycarpal.com. We know about that. But, as we
go on, that's also an unconventional way, by the way, just saying.
Sorry?
That's also an unconventional way.
Yeah. That's also unconventional. Okay. So, there are two questions you'll always be asked. One is, what's the resale value if I sell it 5 years later? And one was, what's the mileage of the car? These are two questions that the middleman will always ask. These are things that we always look at before buying. Resale value, of course, is something that is still a little dicey. But one thing that we are getting to understand is the cost per kilometer is ₹1. That's unheard of. So if that's an incentive, then that, according to me, is a no-brainer. If you're going to be running 1 kilometer at ₹1, it's a great thing. So is that more like a marketing great package? Are there hidden costs to this? Let's be honest. Let's be transparent and tell the people what it is. It is.
I have a feeling it doesn't really take into picture the ownership value, rather the downsides of actual ownership. Right, ₹1 per kilometer is a great metric. It's a very attractive value prop to have.
I can afford that.
I also can afford that. Thank you. But I mean, I'm comfortable affording that. Nothing
Yeah.
more. But ultimately, my point is that these are running costs, right? This is like getting 15 kilometers to a liter, right? So that's pretty much it. We don't take into consideration the loss when it comes to resale value. We don't take into consideration anything else, right? Because these are very, very important metrics that sum up 5 years of ownership. Right, you're paying a very high upfront amount, and then you're having low running cost, and then you're having really low resale value. I think some way or the other it levels out. It becomes the same as buying and owning a regular conventional petrol or diesel driven vehicle.
Right. Now, see, talking about this mileage and the comfort and the confidence, these are the lines we're trying to go on, right? Every product has its pros, has its cons, has advantages and disadvantages, especially when it's something really, really new to the market. Now, when people give us an idea, when they say range, the battery range is approximately 300 kilometers. Now, is this like, the way they say your battery will last you for 12 hours, but last you 8 hours, then where? So what are the safety precautions and what is the practical day-to-day challenges one will have in terms of charging, in terms of range, in terms of, continuous, you charge your phone, you charge your watch, you're charging so many things. Can this be seamlessly implied as, one more thing to charge? What's the harm? Charge your car, man.
Yes, that's one way to look at it from a habit creation perspective, I guess. Because you cannot. There's no fuel to fill. You all you have to do is plug in your car. On that note, I think it's also important to have the accessibility to the power. Right, if you should have a plug point somewhere with a fast charger given by the dealer or the manufacturer or someone to enable you to charge your car at the certain pace that you want. 300 kilometers of range is basically what it's like comparing ARAI fuel economy figures.
Yeah, they say 20
kilometers per liter, but you're getting only 15 or 14, and that's understandable because this is done under testing conditions, and here you have real world usage where you have stop and go traffic and so on. In this case, it's going to be about the amount of battery you use. It's going to be about your lights, your infotainment systems, your other electronics, your security systems, and so on. Your air conditioning and so on. So therefore, the real world implications would have certain effect on the the range of the battery. But honestly, the best thing to do, the best use case scenario would be to use the car for the day, come back, put it for charge at night, take it the next day. As simple as that.
I wish life was so organized and so methodical. Right now, see, this is a lovely idea. Implementation, you always will have your teething issues as you start off. But who would you recommend? Who would be the ideal consumer of electric vehicles?
Absolutely. I think from the top of my head, I can say that it doesn't work for a buyer who's using the car for a primary use, right? This is going to be the only car in my household, and this is going to be my go-to car for my office commute, for my weekend drives, for my outstation trips. This won't work out. So you're looking at this being the second car in a household, or maybe even the third car. This household needs to be financially well-to-do. And third, rather, this would be more of a personal thing. There has to be this intent to go electric, intent to be conscious about how much you are polluting, right? That has to be that solid trigger there.
Do you see, a really economical car coming in? And is this one which is a family car, which is electric cars only for the college crowd, for the retired people? Who is it going to appeal to?
No, I think beyond an age group, we have to look at a price point at which a customer should not be able to say no for practical reasons, right? If I always feel that 7 lakhs is that magic number.
You're a Dhoni fan.
I can't become a 24 or a 10. So I'm just going to stick to 7 because I think 7 is a very practical number, right? 7 is like the price of your i20. 7 lakhs is a number that no one can say no to very easily, dude. I'm serious. If I have 7 lakhs right now, I would go for one right now.
You know
Right,
who's saying no? You know who's saying no? The manufacturers. They're going to say, no, we can't give you a car at 7 lakhs, dude.
I completely agree.
My last question to you, if someone wants to try this electric taste the electric cars and enjoy the experience of owning one, at the moment, the ideas that we shared might not be available in the market.
Totally,
Jump into electric car now, wait for a couple of months, let the other competitors come in, and you'll see a lot of avenues opening. Buy now. And is the price going to change eventually? Become more expensive? Become less expensive? Now wait or just forget it. Don't even consider this. Quick, to the point.
Okay, so I think here it boils down to what price point you're looking at, right? If you're looking at a 20 lakh price point, then you can always have electric vehicles right away. You have one from MG, ZS, and you have one from Hyundai, the Kona. You have below that, you have the Nexon electric. The 20 lakhs is the magic number here, right?
Seven.
Not seven, not seven. Let some competition come in, and then going for a car, because there really is no other option, dude. I mean, I can't think of anything else that's going to be at less than 10 lakhs.
On that note, thank you for being a part of this wonderful discussion of electric cars in India for the moment and from this moment. My name is Rajiv. Do give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, some lovely videos on YouTube. But also, my friend, Chennai Live is now completely digital. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Vignesh, have you subscribed?
I'm already subscribed. I'm
good. Are you enjoying the content?
I'm enjoying the content. It's just like radio, but much, much better.
I think you speak higher of Chennai Live than the electric cars. Thank you very much. On that note, it's a wrap here from Chennai Live Digital. My name is Rajiv. Goodbye. Stay connected. This is radio, redefined and reloaded.